Welcome one and all. I love science. I may not be a witch, but here I am. I'm a science witch. And Soriel, Part 2, Headcanons, as per usual with the shipping things. They come one after another, but this time you got a Star Wars interlude. Sorry about that, I've had that one recorded since last Friday. Or no, I think it was from 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago I recorded that because I went out with friends the same night. But I recorded that 2 weeks ago and I really liked how it came out, and that's kind of like a new idea. It's if I have like theories I want to discuss or just random discussions in general, which is kind of like my opinions and controversies things, which I'm probably just going to add it to the same playlist. But I'm going to have a segment which is discussions over dinner for when I'm home alone and have to make myself dinner, which is usually like every Thursday. I record a video while I'm eating dinner and I discuss things with you guys. So it's like, guys got dinner with me. That's something completely different. So we are going to be doing headcanons for Soriel today, and I have a list someone left me on, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. It's cropped out of here. Hang on, wait, maybe revert. Damn it. Still not there. I got a list from someone in the comments of my Papayaton video, and I'm gonna start putting those to use because it was really nice of them to put this extensive list of headcanons that are really good discussion topics. So we're gonna be doing those. Do they exercise? If so, what do they do? And how often? Sans wouldn't do crap, we know that, Mr. Lazy Bones. But I feel like Toriel would try. She'd really, really want to, but who says that would work? Toriel would be very into it, or she would try to be really into it, but I think Sans would kind of just be like, eh. So Sans wouldn't be doing anything, but despite her best efforts, I think she would be able to get him to do like one thing and he'd be like, alright, I'm done, bye. But he wouldn't do much. But I think Toriel would really try. Whether she succeeds or not and just winds up being lazy with Sans, I don't know. But I feel like she's too much of a sort of mother figure that she's always wants to be taking care of something. Sans, no, but Toriel, she'd definitely try. I don't know what sample daily menu is supposed to be. Sans would most likely eat, well, nothing. Besides maybe hot dogs. Despite being a skeleton and not even really having a throat or a stomach. I'm not quite sure how that's possible, but I mean, I'm not necessarily going off fanon right now. I'm just, because I see the skeleton brothers as simply skeletons. Sans just has some magic powers, but I don't know what Sans would do. Maybe he just... It's really weird. I don't know if Sans would eat things, but he's shown and he's canonically been proved to be able to eat, or that he has eaten things before, but I don't know. I really don't know. Toriel being the motherly figure she is, she tried to set a good example for her child, so she'd probably eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, and plus she's a goat, so I don't think goats eat meat, but probably vegetarian, and lots of baked goods. Now that we've covered their meal habits and etc., I'm going to move on now to their intellectual pursuits. And with Toriel and Sans, it's a bit weird because they both have really different interests. Like, let's see. I know Toriel really likes reading and education and all that, aspect. So I feel like she'd be good all around, but I feel like she wouldn't like math. I don't know why, but she was very into the snails and the baking and the reading, because due to her bookshelves and all that. But she'd probably be, her intellectual pursuits would probably be something along the lines of teaching, obviously. Sorry, I had a scratch on my chest. Teaching would be one of them. And she'd probably teach like environmental sciences or literary classes. And then Sans would probably do physics, maybe? I'm not really sure, but physics just seems like something Sans would do, being all the stuff that he did with Gaster and everything that he remembers about the portal and all that. So Toriel would be environmental science, a teacher, a teacher who teaches environmental science, and Sans would be most likely physics or maybe chemistry, something sciencey, because, you know, all the stuff with the royal scientist, Gaster, I think he would know a lot about that kind of stuff. So, after dealing with their exercise and their meals, I'm gonna go on to probably what their bedroom looks like. I feel like after Toriel left Asgore, she sort of went back to a simpler life. And I mean, Asgore didn't have like all this extravagant stuff, but he still was a bit fancier despite the ruins looking exactly like the palace. Except the palace was a gray color as opposed to the ruins that were purple. So, I think their bedroom would be messy because of Sans, but not too messy because Toriel would clean it in her time where she's not taking care of Frisk and things like that. So, that's a very possible situation. Or it could be something like dead split between messy and clean, and they sort of just do their own things, and their sides of the rooms are their sides of the rooms. Or, like I said, it could just be everything combined, and that could be, they could just stick to their ways, I guess. But, they could, like, just combine everything, and I think their living arrangements would work pretty well for both of them. See, I was thinking about one thing while I was watching Steam Train playing their Genocide run, and this doesn't really have too much to do with headcanons, but it sort of goes with my analysis, because I didn't really think of this when I was filming it. Sans refers to Toriel as an old woman several times. Sorry, old lady. Some old lady behind the door. He refers to her as an old lady. So, is Toriel really as young as she's portrayed? Is Asgore even as young as he's portrayed? They might just be really fit, but I don't know, that just sort of came to mind. Like, there are no canonical ages for any of the underground people, I don't believe, but I don't know, that was just something that came to mind that I thought I'd share. What would they do if they needed to make dinner but the kitchen was busy? I don't really know who else would be out. Sans and, well, not Sans, Papyrus and Undyne would be occupying the kitchen. Grillbees. Simple as that. I mean, Sans practically lives at Grillbees when it comes to food, so why, if everything was occupied and Papyrus and Undyne were cooking or blowing things up, whichever one of the two you choose to consider their culinary creations, they would go to Grillbees. They'd just go out. And I think that would be probably the most reasonable And probably would be a good headcanon of mine that after Toriel sort of comes out of the ruins, or if Toriel ever came out of the ruins, then Grilby would have another frequent customer because of how often Sans comes and brings her on dates. So I think they would be at Grilby's for a lot of their eatery, despite I wonder if Grilby's has anything that would be like vegetarian for Toriel. It's weird, but like, it's a grill place. I highly doubt they'd have any vegetarian things, but it's just a thought. I mean, no, grilled chicken, no. Yeah, that'd be really weird. Do they have any vegan or vegetarian stuff that a goat mom would eat? I mean, I don't even understand how she would eat pastries, because that has eggs, so it wouldn't be vegan. Maybe it would just be vegetarian, because you use eggs in pastries usually. But, I don't know, maybe Grilby whips her up something special. And, just to, per Sans request, to, just make sure the lady's comfortable, has something she'd like to eat at the restaurant. What do they think about before falling asleep at night? I have a feeling, I forgot my lamp was there. I have a feeling Sans has nightmares a lot. Or Sans just hardly sleeps at all. He seems pretty, well, traumatized by the by all of the resets and the fact that he remembers everything. It seems to have traumatized him, so I feel like he would be really, really worried about the possibility of a reset occurring while they're sleeping. And that would probably scare the death out of him, because he's finally happy. Everyone's finally happy. This is, you know, there's a lot of stuff I really should mention at the beginning of videos. This is post-pacifist run. My headcanons are practically all post-pacifist, or I guess you could say neutral, because like they don't get out, but Toriel still leaves the ruins if you choose not to kill her. I feel like Sans wouldn't sleep much. Toriel would probably sleep fine for the most part, but Sans wouldn't be able to sleep because of everything that he thinks about before he goes to sleep. And I know people are gonna be like, oh, Sans sleeps all the time, but that's during the day. He's so tired when he has to wake up that he falls asleep during the day. It's not that he's lazy, it's just he spent the entire night awake trying to calm himself down enough so he could go to sleep. Poor Sans boy. Sans has a rough life. I guess you can say when Sans goes to sleep, he has a pretty bad time. I hate myself too, it's okay. I believe that was 5. I'm gonna go back and check just to make sure, but I'm pretty certain it was 5 because we had the bedroom, the exercise, the kitchen, eating habits. Oh, did we do 6? Or did I not do, oh, I'm confused now. I might have done 6 and I feel bad now. So anyways, if I did more than 5, I'm sorry. I lost track because I had to go eat dinner in between takes, or in between recordings. So I'm sorry if there's an extra, but I guess that's sort of a gift from me because of me being late with this. But I feel like I usually do more than 5 for headcanons, so thank you guys so much for taking your time to watch this video. If you enjoyed what you saw, take a stab at that like button to let me know. And I hope to see each and every one of you sometime in the very near future. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Bye!